It's been coming for a long time. Now TikTok is planning for the nationwide ban that could happen this Sunday here in the U.S. despite the ongoing challenges still in court. Sources say the platform plans to immediately restrict App Store downloads, and when opening the app, people are going to see a message directing them to a website with information about the ban. A decision from the Supreme Court could come in the next day or so. As we wait on that, we bring in our 9 News legal analyst, Whitney Traylor, and we thought we might get a decision or some sort of decision from the Supreme Court today.
Yeah, I was expecting to possibly talk about it. A lot of the experts were expecting a decision today. They issued a number of decisions on other cases, but it didn't come. So I would still expect something to come, maybe not a full opinion, because usually when their opinions come out, they'll announce when the opinion's coming out a full opinion.
It doesn't seem like the Supreme Court likes to have other people's timetables here, but this is another timetable that's forcing them to make a decision within the next 48 hours or so.
Yeah, and they did comply with an expedited timetable in terms of the oral arguments, and they asked for briefs in a certain amount of time, and they had oral arguments on the 10th. So that was forecasting that they were planning to do something before the 19th. I still suspect they might, and it could be a number of things. They could actually do an extension. They could give an extension for 90 days. They could give a short extension so that they could fully deliberate. They could actually issue a ruling. So I still think something's going to come out this week.
But let's go back to like the why of all of this. Is this truly a national security, concern? Is that what Congress is doing here with the ban?
Yeah, that was the argument, and the ban actually started in Trump's first term. He was initially pushing the ban, and then it ultimately passed with President Biden signing the law in April. And the issue was twofold: that they were concerned that TikTok is owned by ByteDance, which is a Beijing-based company, and they have this civil-military fusion, so they share information with the government, and so with the Chinese government, who's a foreign adversary. So the concern was, one, that they were going to covertly send messages to America through TikTok, and then also gathering our sensitive data. And so that was the reason for the ban initially. And so now it's supposed to be in effect on the 19th, which is interesting now because now you got a bunch of Americans moving to other Chinese companies, Chinese apps. So the irony is that it may backfire in some ways.
So the entirety of it is that they didn't want to amend or change the way TikTok operates. They didn't want to dive into that. They just wanted to change who owns it, who is harvesting all that data, because somebody is going to harvest all that data. Right,
and so that was what the law was that, hey, ByteDance is the Chinese company who owns it. You either sell to an American company, and there are buyers who are interested and willing and able to buy it, or it goes away. And so that's really the issue.
Well, it's been interesting too. It's like the story today, all the people, Elon Musk and everybody else who wants to buy it, but ByteDance is saying like, not for sale. You can't buy something that isn't for sale.
Yeah, and that was some of the arguments to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court was saying, look, this isn't a free speech restriction because it doesn't apply to this Chinese-owned company, because everybody's saying, look, by doing away with it, this law is really a First Amendment free speech issue. And the counter argument to that is, no, because it's owned by ByteDance and they have this agreement with the Chinese government that it's not actually, they don't have these First Amendment rights. And so they're saying, we don't even care how the platform operates, we don't care what is being put forward
data,
on it. Yeah, the issue is who owns it. And so that's why they're pushing to say, hey, somebody else buy it. And there is currently in place an agreement with Oracle, and Oracle is sort of overseeing the data, but that was not sufficient because China's a foreign adversary. Congress is really concerned.
Well, we wait, but it sounds like many are expecting them to, I forget the Latin term for kicking the can down the road, a writ of like, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Let us all breathe here. Just put everything on hold for a minute.
Yeah, and that's, people are looking for the Supreme Court to possibly do that, and President Trump, or President-elect Trump, filed a friend of the court, an amicus curiae brief, saying, hey, let's hold off. Let me figure out a political solution. And really, that's interesting because his threats to put on these tariffs on Chinese imports, that may give him some leverage actually to actually work with ByteDance to do something to do something with the company.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It is a mix of the executive, the judicial, and the
Yes.
legislative that is pretty tangled.
Yeah.
Whitney, thanks as always.
Sure,
Good to
be
talk
here.
with you.
All right.